Thanks for tuning in to Clean and Sober. My name is Nick. I am not a professional. I'm a recovering addict who is sharing my personal strength, experiences, and hope. So, to get into this topic, connection to a world around us, come back right after this. Today's topic is connection to the world around us. So, like I said, the first topic a couple videos ago was connecting to ourselves, which is basically finding our identity, finding who we are. Once we remove the drugs, the alcohol, all the substances of what we've done to our bodies and to our lives, we've removed all that, and then we need to fill it with something. So at this point, we came to a realization of what we got to fill our empty voids are. Remove the drugs. Now we need to find something to put in there. Positive energies. Then we find that we also get a connection to our higher power. So the previous video before this is identifying our faith, or identifying that there is something there that can help us get through recovery on a day-to-day or moment by moment basis. Those are the things that you need to find on your own, just like I found on my own through with others in the journey of recovery. And it's pretty simple. I found mine. And you know what? You don't have to make it too hard. You could be anything, right? I would like to read a paragraph or two from a book called Living Clean, from the chapter The Ties That Bind. And the subtopic is connection to the world around us, as the topic's going to be. We build our foundation in recovery as we become more secure. We broaden our horizons and accomplish goals we would never have considered before. Many of us go back to school, pursue careers, and start families. We come back regularly to check our foundation for cracks and shifting and reinforce it where needed. Such a sturdy foundation would not be necessary if we were just pitching a tent, but we build skyscrapers. And we build skyscrapers on our foundation. Those skyscrapers must be securely grounded so that renovating one room doesn't cause the entire structure to collapse. So this is one of the greatest analogies that I've read in a long time. Being a recovering addict, or in my thinking, was that I wanted to build big things, right? And being that they say we're not building just houses, we're building skyscrapers, it is very significant. We do a lot of things in our lives, and I was one of those individuals that didn't, I've heard about the people in recovery that I've grown to love and care for, where every individual made mention of, we put a lot on our plates, families, jobs, education, and bills, and keeping a house, and keeping things in order, and all those things, and as well as faith, and as well as many other things. A lot of individuals have experienced that it's too much, and they sometimes explain that their plates are overfilled. And I used to share my experiences that with the job, being the jobs are stressful. And I've had when I came back into recovery, one of the biggest things was trying to get back into normal everyday living. It's not just getting clean and staying clean and being sober. It's also finding that I did find myself. That's the quick part, because now, like I said, you take away the drugs, you take away the dope, you take away the alcohol, you take all those things away that made us obsessive and compulsive to change our behaviors in a negative way, to what do we do now? Bringing it back, got to fill it with something else. Partly I did fill it with the positive faith, the positive energy, the things that help me stay connected to who I want to be and who I am. It gives me that feel good feelings, gives me everything I need. Now, thirdly, getting back to work. So connecting to a job, because we have to pay our bills, we have to pay our way, is being a productive member of society is utmost important. I can't be a person that's just clean and sober and then sit on my ass on a couch and then expect everything to come my way for free. It doesn't work that way. We have to become a productive member of society in one shape or form. And one of the things that I learned while I was going back to work is trying to connect with my job, connect with my supervisors, connect with uh, bosses and coworkers. I found that things were completely different. It's maybe because my ideology has been different and things have changed, but a lot of it is because of what I did to them. The traumatic, I must have done something traumatic at my work because I used at that work. I indulged in my addictive behavior while I was working at that place. And to become something different and opposite, it was like I felt like I was an alien. I didn't feel like there was any belonging anymore. I just felt that I was there, but I knew what I had to do. Nevertheless, I had to work, pay my bills, get back on my feet. Not just after identifying myself and getting rid of the drugs, I had to pay my bills. I had to, find a place, and I had to find a way to get not only back in society as a working or a productive member of society, but become a parent again. I had two children that I've lost in my addiction. I've had a family that I lost in addiction, and to get back into that role as a father and a family member was, I wouldn't say a priority, but definitely was something that needed to be done, and that was my next step. I like to read the next paragraph because I do like to skip paragraphs, but I just wanted to get to the nut and grind of the topic. Self-obsession is rooted in fear. One of the deepest fears many of us share is that we will lose ourselves entirely. We are afraid to let go of what we know about ourselves in order to change. Afraid to let go of our sense of ourselves in the world in order to meditate. Afraid to let go of our beliefs about our place in the world for fear we will never fit anywhere. Many of us letting ourselves go may be the first step towards finding ourselves. We don't have to hold on to sight. We don't have to hold on too tight. One of our members shares that when I turn it over but don't let it go, I'm just upside down. Letting go, giving us is the freedom to write ourselves again, naturally and gradually, rather than forcing ourselves into a mold of how we think we ought to be. We struggle with the self obsession throughout our lives. This is not a defect we let go just once. It comes up again and again. Often a feeling will send us into self obsession. Addiction is a disease that distorts ideas and attitudes. When we practice acceptance, we distance ourselves from our reactions and reflexes. This gives us the ability to see more of the picture than our limited point of all view allows. The Serenity Prayer is a tool we use again and again in our recovery, considering that we can change and what we cannot becomes increasingly powerful. Great topic. Once we get back in society, we're doing what we're supposed to do. We find that sometimes we are scared, and I've been there. I've been absolutely frightened to death to go back to work, and one of which is understanding that I cannot control the outcomes of my workplace or of family or anything like that. So, in our responsibility is to make sure we keep ourselves in check. Thank God I had somebody that was by my side. And then I found as time grew by, going back to work, there were others that were either an addict of drugs or an addict of alcohol or an addict of some kind of shape or behavior who came out of the light. Um, being a practicing addict at one time, I didn't even think of these individuals as people that had any history of anything. But when I came in and I'm fresh and I'm raw and I'm hurting and I'm broken and I'm trying to get myself get my place back in society, these individuals were the ones that helped me, give me that little lift, that little boost, just to get back in gear, get back to work, get back to being responsible, getting back to being a dad. And these are things, doing to do things. And it does reflect that the fear can be overwhelming and overcoming, but it's what we learn about ourselves after we finally get our identity, after we get our faith. The next thing we need to do is to use those to get us back in society, to get us back to being a person that we should be. The person I was and the person I am now are completely different. Even before I got into a highly active using addiction, I'm completely a different person from that. I find that I'm more softer and yet with a little grit. I do find that I'm a likable, lovable person, but I do respect others around me, and I give respect where respect is due. With my experience, I found that when I went back to work or back in society as becoming a productive member of society, the job that I went back to, the job that I lost because of active using, I found that I didn't fit there. And it wasn't because of the people or, the money was great. This place paid so well, had great, benefits and things like that. And there was lots of people, but it just wasn't for me. So I eliminated that to go back and try another job, which found a company that failed. And in turn, I look at that as a blessing. My faith of a higher power has guided me to say this company is closing up, so you need to find something. Being around other recovering addicts, people that are clean and sober, has taught me to go back to school, get an education as an adult, and learn something completely new. Went to school for a couple of years at a college, and ended up in a job that was just to pay bills because I need to get back in society. I did that job, highly stressful, and you know what? I'm grateful for recovery, and I'm grateful for the tools that it's given me, because it's got me through some very, very high stressful situations. I'm going to put it like this, and then maybe the topic will come up later. But when you work in an environment with multiple personalities, and then you're taking on a customer role, or taking on a customer role position, where you're working with people that are calling in, that are very angry or very misunderstood, with different personalities, it does break you down. But with me having my circle of recovery, which is people that I have in the network of other addicts, that I can reach out to help guide me further, people with higher experience or people with experience in recovery, has given me the strength to keep going. Eventually came to the point where, like I said, my faith, the second stage of this, and where my place should be, finding out who I need to be. I'm at a job now where the personalities doesn't matter. I'm very, very happy, and has given me the ability to do a job that I very much like, and to just go home and be satisfied, and give me the time and the satisfaction to create videos for you. And that's where I find it more important. So recovery has taught me so much, and to accept things in different roles and different things in different places and different people, and being able just to be able to fit in. And I fit in today, and I like who I am today, And I believe that if you're watching this video, you're looking for your place, and that's great. And if you found it, fantastic. So, without dragging out this video on any longer than I should, I'm definitely gone past my minutes on this one. I'm just gonna cut this short, but at this point, uh, keep it one day at a time. Recovery's a journey. We all deserve the love and happiness that being drug free, alcohol free can give us. Other than that, have yourself a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.